Hello, YouTube. Welcome to our channel. This is a channel that deals with the fat fire journey of a family. Our net worth goal is $5 million US.
So, how much do kids cost? It's something we all care about. It's something that catches people by surprise once they have kids, how the expenses mount up. So, let's break down our costs. So, we have three kids. Our youngest is now over five, so we're confident in sharing the numbers over the kids of the cost. And this is average over three kids. So a couple of points about these numbers to make them better understood. So we do a monthly tracking. We have changed service providers along the years, be it day centers, daycare centers, or babysitter, things of that nature, and also doctors. We have moved, but we are still in the same high cost of living area throughout the kids' lifetime between 0 and 5.
So you've seen ads. I want to stop the ads, but Google doesn't allow you to opt out of monetization to get to 1,000 subs. So I want to get to 1,000 subs to stop all these annoying ads. I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for the community. And right now the ads you see, they go directly to Google, and they have enough money.
So a couple of myths regarding childcare costs. First is it gets cheaper as they get older. So if you don't have kids yet and you're just shopping for daycare centers, you're gonna see different costs. You're gonna see the cost goes down as the kids grow up. However, that's not the case because the child care center raises the price every year, and sometimes they require additional funding mid-year, for example, for facilities or field trips, things of that nature. So while it appears that yes, older kids should be cheaper, they are not while you're in the private system. Yes, once you go to the school system, a big chunk is taken care of you, but this is until they're age 5 before they enter the public school system. Second thing is kids are cheaper in the bulk, meaning your second child will not be as expensive as the first one. Same goes for additional children. Um, that's just not true. Very few costs are uh, combinable between different kids, but like for clothes, which is a big chunk, we've tried cheap clothes, we've tried high quality clothes. Same for shoes, boots, jackets, etc. Even the high quality stuff does not last. It gets torn and ripped and just unusable, um, which is something you need to know. Uh, and the second thing is our family will help. Meaning, if you have kids and you're like, oh, we want a date night, we don't need a babysitter, we can ask friends or family to look after our kids. That's not the case most of the times. Yes, there is like when they're new and exciting, yes, people want to chip in. But after a while, like you're in it for the long run, and family won't help. You will have to get paid help um, to tide you on. So that's something you need to take into consideration when you're planning your budget for kids. So let's get on to the business of like the numbers. So the child care breakdown. So child care centers, in this case, it relies on nanny when they were kids, and then private childcare when they were older in a center-based environment, not in a co-op-based environment. The reason we chose that based on the facilities, it wasn't the cost. The cost is equivalent between a home daycare and a commercial one. Same for nonprofit. Cost-wise are all the same. It's just the facilities and the wraparound care you get around it. So over 4 years, it costs us $120,000. Now, nanny support. You're thinking, why do you need a nanny when you have childcare? Well, a center. Well, sometimes the childcare is more farther away from your house. And we had a nanny that picked up the kids when the childcare ends and brought them home and played with them because childcare is fun, but we also want them to enjoy their house and have a good transition period between childcare center and uh, nighttime sleep. We've noticed that if we pick them up, go home, feed them, wash them, and put them to bed, they don't have time to play, they don't have time to transition, and we are two full working parents, so we hired the nanny throughout the years um, to help with these sorts of responsibilities. Babysitter. Well, we like to go out occasionally, and babysitters are expensive. If you've seen the cost of minimum wage increasing, I can tell you babysitters require more than a minimum wage. And food. Oh boy, do they eat. And this is the cost until they're 5. This does increase over time as they uh, eat more. So there's more to kids than just the daycare, right? They require more things, clothes, toys, things of that nature. So toys, this is the cost for 5 years. Uh, just basic toys, nothing out of the ordinary here. No subscriptions or anything like that when they're this low. Clothes, it's a high number, but there's summer clothes, there's winter clothes, there's shoes, there's boots, there's snow boots, there's snow jackets. All of those, and they need everything new every year because they grow and can't fit into uh, their previous stuff. And as I mentioned before, the clothes don't last, so hardly hand-me-downs. The kids just go through the clothes and make good use of them. And peripheral, well, uh, kids need a bed, right? Kids need strollers. Kids need all those things. So those are costs that, and they're not transferable between kids. Even the stroller didn't last. Uh, Cheap stuff or expensive stuff, it's all the same. Nothing really lasts anymore. They don't make them like they used to. And miscellaneous stuff, this is a big bucket, but it's also all the things our kids need. For example, they get invited to birthday parties, they need to bring presents, things of that nature. They need a backpack, well, we need to buy them a backpack. And kids have an additional cost in the healthcare system. So this is very US based in terms of the numbers you're going to see here and specific programs. But let's break it down for you. So the direct cost. Direct cost is out of pocket, what you pay your insurance provider via your paycheck. If you'll notice, when you have your benefit selection, there's a cost per family, a cost for yourself. So these are just direct costs, and this is under an excellent healthcare provider via our positions. I'm assuming this can only go up based on the other healthcare systems, sorry, healthcare providers that exist here out of pocket maximum. So when you notice like you have your healthcare, you know, like, there's for an individual, and all of a sudden you have your family. So if your previous out of pocket maximum was 2,000, and now because of kids it's 4,000, well, it takes you longer to reach your out of pocket maximum, and you're paying for that while you're heading towards your co-insurance and deductible limits, and this adds up. Uh, Medical needs, well, the kids need to see a doctor. They need to have procedures done. They need their medication. So this is the average cost over kids. Two of them were pretty healthy. One of them was less healthy. And these add up. So this does not include their actual birth cost, which is again a few $1,000s, depending on your plan. This is just the day-to-day of them existing. And well, kids need a place to stay, right? They don't stay in your bed for long. They don't stay in your room for long. They need their room. So where we live, and again, it's a high cost of living area. Uh, it costs the room itself, just the physical footprint, is $57,000. The property tax, again, over 5 years, is 3,500, and utilities. Uh, Again, you need to heat the extra space. You need to power it, etc. $4,300 over a period of 5 years. And you're gonna ask, well, hey, you paid for the room, aren't you gonna have some tax appreciation on it? Yes, you will, but that's you still need the capital, initial capital, the initial building of the room. You're not gonna get your equity out of this kid's room. Vacation, which is basically the fun fund, or what you're doing with your kids while you're vacationing. So up until now, you're a couple. Now you have, oh, there's a little extra one. He's not going to be that expensive, or she is not going to be that expensive. Well, yes, until age 2, they can sit on your lap. But if you've ever had a 2-year-old sit on your lap, It's painful, uncomfortable, and on longer flights, it's just not worth it. They need their space so they can sleep, and so we can sleep as well. So yes, the flights on average over 5 years cost about $4,000, which in the first year when they were quite small, we could have them sit on our lap, but they quickly grew out of it. And accommodation, these are either hotels or either Airbnbs. The kids need a place to stay, right? A bed. And hotel rooms charge extra for those types of rooms, the bigger rooms that have places for families. And sometimes you need an Airbnb and not a cheap hotel because you need, for example, when they're young, to be able to store your breast milk or cook their special meals when they're young. So you're forced or you choose to go for the higher accommodations that meet the needs of your family. And experience as well. They need their fun on vacation, right? So these are all the extra things on vacation that do add up over 5 years. So this is how much we spent on each one of our kids until they were five. So $302,000. As you saw, it's a very big number, and you saw the breakdown. Um, so something to keep in mind when you're thinking of having kids in the fire lifestyle. Expect them to cost you. This is until their age 6, which is the expensive period. It does get cheaper later on in life, but then you have college, so this thing sort of evens itself out to about 80, 70K a year per child while they're young, and which comes down to monthly over $5,000 per month per child.
So where we want to be when we retire. Once we have $5 million US, we plan to take from that amount based on the 4% guideline, a yearly income of $200,000. That is pre-tax. Our tax calculations and approaches we will speak on in a later video. So a little bit about us. We are two working parents. Our main source of income is a W-2 salary for both me and my partner. In addition to that, we have three children, ranging in age from 4 to 8, and we live in a high cost of living area. That will explain some of our expenses in a later portion of the video.